Alright, we're still rocking with these camera settings. I've got it up on my phone in like a slightly bigger or slightly larger viewer so that I can kind of see how the quality of this video looks. But for now, I guess we're gonna have to rock it like this with the light on. I guess it looks decently clear. Comparable to the last video, it's better, and then we'll figure it out some more as we go. It's kind of hard to tell until I finally actually put the video into the editing software if I liked how it looked or not. Because when it's small on the screen and it's kind of darker, you can't quite tell the quality. But it's whatever. We are starting off the day. Got ourselves another one of these guys. Pretty good. They come in the 19-ounce cans, as I said in the last video. I guess if I order them on Amazon, I can still get them in 19 ounces. So that's pretty dope. Pretty stoked about that. What the fuck? Okay, so for today's topic, I kind of wanted to speak on something that I know probably quite a few of you can relate to, and maybe you have experienced this, or you've kind of heard just some of your friends say similar things and stuff like that. And that's this idea of you take the person that was consistently going to the gym for, a good amount of time, say, it'd been 6 months or something along the lines of that. And I feel like I typically hear this happen more often with beginner lifters that have been lifting for about, at most, a year. But that's the idea of some sort of event happening, and then it completely spirals their, gym progress and their self-improvement progress. And then that just kind of causes them to get completely off track. And then anytime you mention something to them and you try to, you try to talk to them about, when are you gonna start back up? When are you gonna do this and that? It's always, I don't have time and this and that. And they give you a million excuses. Or, say someone was super, dialed on lifting, and then they're like, I got sick, and then, that messed up my lifts, and they stopped going. And, they got overweight, and it's like, no, dude, you just got lazy and you just got fat. But this is something that I hear, like, extremely often, and I just don't quite understand why people are always lying to themselves about, not just going back. And, I mean, I do, but at the same time, I don't, because here's the thing. If you take just, in general, kind of how humans operate, you have this idea of, they were doing something so consistently, and now they quit, and they know, inherently that it's better for them to get back on it. But in order, one, for them to go back to it, it's now this kind of like, I'm trying to, put this in the best words, but it's kind of like this, the factors of one, there's this idea of, now that they have, whenever they go back to self-improvement or lifting or whatever it may be, the people around them are obviously going to notice, and then people are going to start talking about it, and it's something that they don't want to think about. Now, when it actually does come to the fact of people recognizing that they are lifting again and, are, improving themselves again, when people finally do, notice it, in that moment, they're going to feel happy that they're noticing it and stuff like that. But at the same time, it also bothers them, because that means that since people are now noticing it, you now feel this obligation to keep on going. And, they started this whole self-improvement journey that they were so-called going to stick to with this plan in their mind that they really actually weren't going to stick to it, and they were going to quit eventually. So, that's kind of like one of the biggest things is people just get so, you start, giving them positive feedback, and then they start getting upset and stuff like that. And it's like, they had no original plan to really stick all the way through it. So you talk to them about it, and then it just frustrates them. So by the time they finally do kind of hop off the train, and now everyone's like, hey, what happened? You were going with this. Oh, I don't have time, and, I got sick, and I have this problem and that problem, this going on. My life's just not on track right now for it. And when it comes down to it, there's never a better time to start than right now for improving your life. It doesn't really matter what is going on at all. Never is just sitting around and fucking doing nothing all day, wasting your time, scrolling forever on TikTok, gonna be a better option. It's just not gonna fix anything. So I don't understand why these people just, want to fall back into this loop. And these are the same people that, they go walking around life, hating their life, and they're depressed, and they're always talking to everyone, about, I hate life, and I want to die, and all the shit. And I can understand that when you get into this negative mindset, it's a very dogmatic mindset, almost like you're wearing these sunglasses that are just, completely blacked out. You've got blinders on. It makes it really hard to see the light in front of you. But here's the thing. You still have your hearing. And you have people giving you these hints of how to take these glasses off. And all you're sitting there doing is listening to it, and you're like, you know what? No, I don't want to do that. I just want to keep them on. It's kind of nice. And then you go complain to them, and then they go give you more answers, and then I'll just keep the glasses on, and I'll keep doing what I'm doing. I think it's not that bad. So then why are you gonna sit here and complain to us? Because all they're trying to do is just feed off your positive energy to pull it down to their level, so that they feel better about themselves without putting in more work. Because it's easier to pull someone down to their, pull someone down to your level or whatever, than it is to pick yourself up and bring it up to theirs. That takes work. Who the fuck wants to do work? People don't want to do work. So, that's one of these, problems that just people can't seem to get through their head. And it comes a time where, a year passes, 6 months passes, a year passes, 2 years pass, and they're looking back, they're like, damn, where did I go wrong? Why did I not start back then when so-and-so was telling me that I should have originally started? And, the time has come, and they still realize that they've got nowhere. So then what do? They go complain, and they get in the cycle of telling everyone their problems. You bring them the solution, and they do the same thing. Nah, I think I'll keep the glasses on. I think I'll just fucking keep complaining. And it's like, well, you were saying that a year ago, and you said you wish you would have started then. Why don't you just start now? And they've got their excuses, but it's code word for, nah, I'm too lazy, I don't feel like it. If you really want to change something, all it takes is for you to finally decide, you know what, I'm done, I'm going to make the switch. It's really not that difficult. You have these two things called 2 legs, 2 hands, and a mind. Okay, maybe some of you got don't have an arm, don't have a leg, you can still become the greatest version of yourself. Whether you're short, tall, fucking overweight right now, extremely underweight, you can still always push yourself to become better than what you currently are. Even if you already feel like you're at the top and you're already making 10K a month, maybe you're making fucking 10K a day. It doesn't matter. Maybe you're making fucking $1 million a day. There's always room for you to improve from the current situation you're in. So, people just don't have this thought in their mind, and all they do is complain. So, touching back on what I had said originally, and if I'm yelling into this thing, I'm going to have to just turn down the mic volume a little bit. But touching back on what I had said originally about people having a major event happen in their life, whether, they got extremely sick or, whatever the fuck happened. And now they have completely derailed from their journey. And maybe, unlike somebody that was planning to quit from the back of their mind in the beginning, these people were not planning to quit in the back of their mind. But since, this major event happened, they now can't get back on track. And you see, when you talk to these people that can't just seem to get their life back on track, it's, sometimes it is as if that fear of, it's, you've got this trauma of, this major event, I just got super sick, whatever just happened, this event just happened in my life, and, I was doing great, it derailed me, and now, they're stuck in this negative loop of, doing what they don't want to, and they know deep down inside that they would like to get back on this positive path and go back to the way they were doing. But they have not reconvinced themselves that is actually better at what they're doing currently. And even though their subconscious mind knows that it is, they have not still, fully convinced themselves. And I think a lot of this stems from the idea that now that this big event has happened in their life, they have now associated this somewhat, traumatic event as something that may happen again. So it's this idea of, why am I going to put in all this effort and start again if I could just get super sick again or whatever, and then it's going to derail me, and it's going to be this whole thing, because they feel better currently not doing, not doing the self-improvement acts that they were before than they did in the small amount of time where they first weren't able to continue, lifting and doing all their stuff because, they were bedridden or whatever. And in that time, the pain was so strong that they now associating, I can't fail again, because if I have to re-experience that small amount of pain from failing again, then, it just doesn't make it worth it. And it's just an idea that doesn't make sense, because no matter what, shit like that is just going to happen over and over and over again. And if you keep this mindset of just sitting here and, always worried about, if I fail again, if I get sick again, if I get hurt again, whatever it is, if you keep this mindset, then you're not going to progress in who you really want to be. And one of my biggest fears is sitting on my deathbed and thinking, damn, I wish I would have spent all these times where I was out, doing fuck all I wish I would have been, set in wherever, in the gym, in the room, grinding, working on myself to be better. That way I could have had a better life. Instead of, oh, I'm just going to play it safe and I'm going to cruise it out and kind of do nothing and have a long, simple life. And then by the time you get to the end of it, you're like, fuck, what the hell did I do? Where did I go wrong? Asking yourself the exact same question as you were way back then. The only difference is that during all this time from then till when you died, you just learned to kind of cover it up and push it down and tell yourself, oh, I didn't go wrong. It just wasn't meant for me. Or, I don't have time because I'm working too much, or, whatever the excuses are. And even if you're working an extreme amount of hours, you can always find time to go and get yourself into the gym, to go and, find time to get to bed earlier, to find time to eat better. You spend all these little hours running to the store to get candy, or sitting around taking a shower for an hour, or fucking watching 3 hours of random brain rot YouTube videos. You add all these times up, or you could have been, getting some extra sleep, getting an extra workout in, prepping a meal, doing all this stuff. You would have so much extra time if you just planned your time out a little better. So the whole excuse of I don't have time is just nonsense. It really doesn't make any sense. And people just need to stop lying to themselves about, that they cannot do it. Because if you just sit there and lie to yourself that you can't do it, you're never going to get anywhere. There is no point. If you're going to lie to yourself, at least lie to yourself that you can do it when you feel like you really can't. Because you're lying to yourself anyways, might as well see if it works out. And if it does, great. If not, your position literally did not change. At least you tried to make it better. And you tried and it was not possible. But here's the thing. No matter what, if you're actually giving it all your effort, it is possible. So many people are like, oh, but I tried and I can't do it. Yeah, that's because you didn't try hard enough. Go again. Get up the next day. Do it again. I don't give a fuck. Just keep on doing what you were doing. Work harder. Replan. Reorganize. Figure it out again. Oh, but, my parents don't let me do anything, this and that, and figure it out. Go sit them down, have a talk with them, say, whatever, parents, I made this huge fucking list, and it's like a business plan for my damn life, and this is what I want to do with it. And I've gone through all the scenarios of different things that could happen, and I've written them down. And this path seems like the best path for me to move forward. If I plan this out and I do it to a T, there is no way, if I keep on going on it, I can fail in the very end. And if then you show them that and they still say, no, go to college, get a job, get the fuck out of the house. You don't need to be around them. And, I'll get a lot of hate for telling people just to go and leave their parents and do whatever. But at the end of the day, when you do leave, you go, you start your business, you make it, you come back, you say, hey, look, I left, I did what you told me not to do, I'm successful, I want to buy you a house. They're going to be pretty damn happy that you told them to fuck off and went and made a few $1 million, came back and bought them a house. And they're going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, and they'll understand by then. And if they're still bitter by then, You just got to learn to have this distance relationship with them where, you know, they're still your parents, but you just can't be around them because all they are trying to do is pull you down. And there are people that are like that in this world, that all they want to do, not just like people's parents, but, you know, friends and you know, these so-called quote-unquote friends, acquaintances, and everyone. People just want to feed off your energy and pull you down. That's all you want to do. All they want to do, sorry. And even, you know, touching on that, you need to go and find yourself, you know, some like-minded people that are actually willing to put in the same amount of effort that you are. If you are the only person that you are friends with, you know, that is putting in the same amount of effort that you are, then you have a problem with your list of friends, because you need to find somebody that you can do with it, you know, that you can roll out your plan with. You can find, you know, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you got to go with somebody else. So in the beginning, you know, you can grind it out by yourself, get as far as you can, but it's going to reach a point where you're going to hit a wall and you're going to be like, I need some extra help to keep on pushing. Whether that's more ideas, you know, there's so much work at hand that you just need more intelligent people to be able to get it done. Whether you need more people to be going out and establishing new connections, you know, there's a whole host of things that could be going on. But at the end of the day, you need to find more like-minded people to keep you going and, you know, to keep you moving. Don't try and fix your homies that you've been there and you're like, oh, but so-and-so's a day one. Well, they're sitting around fucking getting fat as fuck, doing nothing, wasting their life away. It's like, you know what? You don't have to be an asshole to that person. You don't have to say, oh, bro, fuck you, I'm better than you now. All you gotta do is not talk to them. You know, you can check up on them every once in a while, hey, how's it going, whatever. But you don't need to be associating yourself with them. You don't need to be hanging out with this person. You need to be working on yourself, betting on yourself. Say you finally make it. You know, you're making millions of dollars. You're generational wealth set for life. You decide that you want to help this person out because you still care about them. Go for it. You know, hit them up, see if they're willing to change. If they're still not willing to change after they've seen all your results, that just really puts it into perspective of, you know, all the time that you wasted with them. But as long as you learn something about it, you know, as long as you can learn, it wasn't a waste of time. So I guess I'm going to call it at that for the rest of this talk. I'll have to cut up some of these clips and organize them. That way I cut out any tangents I went on for too long. But yeah, see you guys next time.